Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is the next day, and it is quite amazing what happened overnight. So I forgot to put the headliner back in the barn when I went in for the night. And right before I went to bed, I heard it start raining, then thundering, then pouring, and then I remembered the headliner was still outside. And I thought immediately, the headliner is ruined. But something really strange happened. Whether by the acts of God or by what the headliner is made out of, you guys gotta see this. That's insane. And all that happened was it got rained on. The rain has washed away almost all of the nasty that was on that headliner. So the next step is, since most of the smell is gone too, I'm going to spray it down with some vinegar. Then I'm going to go spray my carpet down with vinegar and going to take and pressure wash that carpet. So let's get this sprayed down and then we'll go over and take care of the carpet too. So here, just basic spray bottle filled with vinegar. As I stated before, vinegar is fairly acidic and will pretty much kill anything that the sun doesn't. So let's get this sprayed down. Now, as you can see, it's changing color as I'm spraying, which is nicer than it tells me by doing that where I have sprayed. Now I'm going to let this sit in the sun also, so the sun can heat bake the vinegar into the headliner. Stupid flies. I think flies are probably right behind rodents on my list of hated things. They're just as good at spreading disease and nastiness as rodents are. Slightly moist to the touch. Now we'll let the sun take care of the rest. Alright, let's go get the carpet. Okay everybody, here we are. I've already gotten things fairly set up. I got my pressure washer here, vinegar here. Gonna spray the carpet down, and then I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with the pressure washer. It's probably gonna have to be done more than once, so let's get this started. Okay, well, let's start there. Now, as with everything else I own, my pressure washer is also electric. So, it shouldn't be that loud, but it'll probably be as loud as the vacuum cleaner was. But we definitely got to try to get some of this crap out of here, and whatever this mess is on the driver's floor mat. Gotta at least try, you know? And I would normally use my soap on this too, but I'm not sure what's going on with soap function. I can't seem to get it to work. Maybe it's plugged or broke or something. So that's that fun. I'm going to try just a bit of a smaller tip. Another nice thing about being able to pressure wash your carpet is these spots on the floor where you constantly rest your feet while you're driving that get crap and clogged up with mud and dirt and turn into just a hard surface will be taken away from this. Now you know you're pretty much done with an area when the runoff down below is clear. That means that all the dirty water has already drained out and all that's left is clean water that's draining out. So let's go ahead and hit this side now. You see how the water that's in the carpet is now running down. That way it's easier to dry up top when it's not a pool. And for any of you that don't own a pressure washer, or you want to buy one, or you're thinking of buying one, the number one thing that I can say is get one with enough power. This one I think is around 2300 and it serves my purpose. It's not super powerful, but I don't need it for a lot of powerful stuff. And second, don't ever put your fingers out here while it's on. It may be very tempting to just turn it on so you can rinse off your hands like with a hose. This will cut your fingers open because of how high pressure the water is. So once this is dry here, we're going to go ahead and put it back in the car, and then it's going to get vacuumed to make sure it gets any of the bad stuff out of it. Then we'll start reassembling the car. But I think just for something fun to do, I'm going to go ahead and show you another cleaning, but with something much more dirty. So I will be right back. Okay everybody, here are the nasty, horrible floor mats out of my Charger. So here's a bonus on how effective a pressure washer can be at cleaning carpeting, especially floor mats, which is why in most self-serve car washes they have a floor mat cleaner, or I should say a place to hang your floor mats to use the pressure washer to clean them. As you can see, they're horribly dirty, especially the driver's one. That's what happens when you live out in the country. And I actually forgot to put my winter floor mats in when I took my Charger and started driving it for winter, because I do have a set of winter floor mats. But these because I forgot to put in the winter mats, turned into this horrible, disgusting mess that we're gonna get completely rid of. Now, although it may not get rid of all the hair, that can be gotten with a vacuum. It will get rid of all the dirt. Do you think I can pressure wash all the dirt out of the Dodge writing to make it white again? That is white lettering. Sorry guys, the wind blew you over. That looks pretty good to me. Wonder if I can do the other side too. This is the driver's floor mat. Seaplane. Look at all the brown water running out. There is so much mud in here that it's still coming out. No, it looks like a lot of the water that's dripping now is clear. Those floor mats look pretty good, don't they? If that's not a reason to own a pressure washer, well then I guess you just have to do it at the self-serve car wash. Okay everyone, so I think it's time to get on to the inside of the car. Let's put the ducting back together. We'll wait for the carpet to dry. It's probably going to take a few days for everything to dry completely, provided it doesn't rain again. And then we'll get the carpet in and go from there. So let's go ahead and move back over to the barn. Okay everybody, welcome back to part 2. This is Dark Earth Customs. I am Joshua and we are standing next to my 2003 Mitsubishi Galant LS. And what we are going to get started on is putting the interior HVAC system back together. Now I already laid it out, kind of did a precursory look at how things have gotten, how things go back together. Again, it's been 5 years since I've touched this car, basically except to start it. So now that I pretty much remember how things go back together, the carpet's been washed and cleaned, the headliner's been washed and cleaned. Gonna start by putting the HVAC system in, Then you're going to lay the carpet in, put the headliner in, and put everything back together on the interior. Then I'm going to go ahead and use my leather cleaner and conditioner for all the seats and all the rest of the upholstery. And we're going to get this interior all put back together and done. Then all that will leave is the brakes, the exhaust leak, and the wheels. So let's go ahead and get started and get this part of the project done. Remember to like and subscribe, because without you, nobody's going to know about my channel. So the more of you that like and subscribe helps me out by making my channel bigger, so more people get to see this. Alright, let's go ahead, get into this, and get this all put back together. Alright everybody, so as I said, I have a rough idea of how everything is supposed to go back together, because I took some time to look at all the parts and try to figure out where they go back. So let's get into this, and we're going to start right in front of you guys, deep inside the dash is a bracket and a control module. Ah, that's better. Trying to get a little bit of light on this subject here. So what we have here, this is your standard HVAC ductwork control module that opens and closes the doors to where your heat goes and what your temperature is. This is one of the brackets that goes over that module, and that module goes right nice and tight up here where my finger's pointing. Now, one of the unique designs on this car that I am actually not a fan of is this. Now, I have the original right here, and I thought this was the problem, but it wasn't. So that one is actually brand new, and this one, as you can see, when you move the arm, the door inside opens and closes. So on this particular engine, when you switch the ductwork over to cold, this door will close, and it will close the coolant off to the heater core completely. So you have no cold, or you have no hot in the cabin at all. Now, although that's a good idea, I'm not a fan of how it works, because it's not perfect. And in this case, you need something to be perfect when you are working with the interior heating and cooling. But that's part of the system. It's something that can't be changed. So all we can really do is just put it back in and, well, get it back together. Now, it's quite possible that my big fat head is going to get in the way while I'm trying to put this in. Well, I'm trying to remember how this darn thing goes in. Oh, that's right. It goes way up top. Yeah, so it goes right about up there. So the first thing I got to do is plug it in, because it's an electronic module. Then somehow get it up there and get the screws put back into place. Alright, so you heard the snap. Now I think it's in place, so let's try to get the screws tight. Nope. It is not even up high enough. Okay, there we go. Now you can see the module screwed in, and it's coupled up with that bar, so when the cold switch on the dash gets turned on, this will close off the heater cord to the car, and it'll recycle the coolant through the engine instead of the interior. Next step is this little cutie here goes right up here also, because this little computer box clips onto that and goes all up there and covers everything. Don't get me wrong, guys, I do like many cars of different makes and models, but boy, those Japanese, they are sure into perfection. Alright, so, and that's not a bad thing either, especially when it comes to a car. But it sure comes at a cost to being able to work on it. Okay. This is definitely where it gets not fun. So we're gonna take, and I thought this went the other way, but I guess not. Holy buckets, guys. Well, oh, it must slide on. Okay, I get it. It looked like it was going on backwards, but it is. It is actually backwards to what I would consider normal. It's more than likely that this video will probably end up being a two-parter. Of course, it'll probably actually be a three-parter because I already got one video before this one. Alright, so you see how that bracket goes up there and covers that. Now this box here, I have no idea what it's for, but it's obviously it is obviously one of the computer boxes for this thing, and I need to get these plugs out. Okay, there's one, there's two, because I'm gonna have to go up here and slide this thing in. There we go. Okay, slid in. And then these clips go back up. Just like that. One piece at a time. So now we got a plug right here. That's going to be this one right here. You can see it's in the shape of a T, just like that one is. and these are not, so that's obviously the right one. Plug that in. Now these two plugs here are going to actually plug into the controls in the heater box itself. So I'm just going to get those out of the way temporarily while we go to install the big blower motor box that goes right here. And this is going to be for the blower motor controls. And here's part of it. And here's another part of it. Alright. So this piece will go right there. You can see there's a screw here, or a bolt there, and a bolt there that holds this piece into place. Up here is this. This is a thermal resistor for the high-low switch on the fan. And up here is the rest of the blower controls, the rest of the bolts and the hardware. Fortunately for me, when I take things apart, I put the bolts back where they go for the most part. That way I don't have to try to figure it out at a different time. This is the top. It goes up under the dash. That's where the blower motor goes. This has all been previously cleaned out from the infestation, so there's no need to do it again. And we are going to start by connecting these two together. This right here, this is the blower, this is the foot control for the passenger side foot heat. That just tucks up under there, and it'll connect to the rest of the HVAC that connects under there. So let's go ahead and get this one in. Take out this bolt and this one down here. And then we just try to line everything up here. Which is not always the easiest, but get it in there. And then we can put the hardware back in. It looks like there was probably a screw right there, so actually looks like there's probably a couple of screws right there, which is probably what these might be. But we'll see as we start putting everything together. There's one. There's two. Alright, so that's in there. Now, I don't think it was the big fat-headed screws that I just had. I think it's these little ones. Those seem to fit better, so let's go ahead and get those put in. Like I said, I try to put everything back where it belongs for the most part. Sometimes I don't get it all back together, and then I have to try to figure out where it all went. Thankfully, once you get this blower box put back under here, we'll have a better view of what's in front of me as I can push the camera back out further. Alright, now let's go ahead and get this blower resistor put into place. Take out these two screws here. And this just drops right down in there. That is a thermal sensor, if I remember right how it works. It's either a thermal sensor or it's just a speed controller. Either way, it controls the fan speed. Okay, the box is now back together. This foam piece is a giant pain in my butt because it keeps falling out. Now, make sure it's all set up and ready to go. And of course, it's not. These go right, that goes right there. This is some sort of bracing. I haven't figured this one out yet. It looks like it goes right there. Yeah, something to do with the dash or glove box or airbag or something. So let's go ahead and get this box up and put this foam strip back down that keeps falling out of the way. This is where it gets really fun, is now you're trying to line everything back up. Oh, there's another bolt right here. Because you know, you need at least a bare minimum of 20 bolts to hold in one piece of plastic. Okay. Alright, so that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I thought I had 6. Well, I do have 6, so where's the 6th one wander off to? Okay guys, where is the 6th? Oh, way under there. Gotcha. And then the last one here goes yeah, way down under there. Okay, let's go ahead and get these tightened down. Then I think I can probably back you guys up from under here. One, two, three. And my body does not bend that way. I'm getting sunburned down under here with that darn light. And you know, I can hear you guys now. Why aren't you just using an electric ratchet? Well, you know what? If you want to buy me one, I'll gladly accept it, but you know, I'm not a full-time YouTuber yet. So, although I do work on cars, I can't justify spending anywhere from $200 to $500 for an electric ratchet that I don't use every single day. And that is exactly why I don't have an electric ratchet. I would love one, but I'm not dropping that kind of money. I'm a very frugal person. I hate spending money. Alright, that's number 5, and number 6 is way back here. Oh. Can barely even get to it. You know, I think there should be a rule that 1 dash a year is all a person should have to do. They are my absolutely most hated part of a car. Aside from being under the car, working on a dash really sucks. Okay, so here we are. We got the rest of the harness. Now I showed you the thermal control has that 4 plug on it, so that goes right in here, like so. And then there's a controller here that controls the flapper in here, and that plugs into that wire right there. And then this little doohickey goes right there. So that's all buttoned up right there, except for the blower motor. That'll white wire that'll get put back on when the blower motor gets put back on. You know, I wonder if I should just do the blower now since I'm down under here. That would probably make a bit more sense. Alright, so here's the blower motor. Goes up on the bottom. Gets bolted into place. Now, this is a really strange looking Torx bit that I am surprisingly missing. Let me see if it's in any of the parts from the inside of the car here. Okay, everybody, I guess we're going to wait on the blower motor because I'm going to need to snag me some of these screws here out of my screw bucket or screw drawer. So let's go ahead, and now that all that's left under here Down under there is the blower motor. And all this here is buttoned up. Let's get you out of here. Actually, where's that piece of metal that I was wondering about? Where did that wander off to? Oh, hello. Oh, there you are, random piece of metal. Let's figure you out. Because you're going to be tucked up here. Oh, yeah, it's a dash support. Okay, I get it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get these bolts here out. Because this is the airbag. Well, I suppose you can't see where I'm pointing. The airbag is on top of the dash, and the dash flexes too much, so they must have put this brace in here for that reason. All right. Now, hopefully that doesn't have to be tied up with the dash itself. I guess we'll find that out when I go to put the dash panel back in. But at least it's in for now. Okay, now we can get you guys out of there. So let's get you out of there. We'll put you in the back seat and, you know, buckle you in, I guess, if you're concerned about your safety. Okay, what was that about? Well, I'm talking to you guys. One of my chickens shows up in my barn. They're fenced in. There is no way for that chicken to get out. Then, when I put the chicken away and come back to the barn, the bat that lives in the barn is flying around up in the rafters in the middle of the day. Has the whole world gone topsy-turvy? What is going on? Wow. Okay, anyways, now that that craziness is over with, okay, so what we have here is a failure to communicate. Way up in the recesses of the dash, this goes. And it actually goes like that. Now, I have a feeling this doesn't fit. I have a feeling I just painted myself into a corner. I bet this was supposed to go up before this box went up. Because this connects to this. This connects to the little foot area that I showed you. And this comes out right here. Boy, did I just botch it up. But you know what? That's what happens. We make mistakes and we trudge on. So I'm going to go ahead, take that back out, put this back in, put that back up, and we will be right back. Okay, everybody, that sure was a fun little escapade, taking that back up, putting it back in. I just love doing my job more than once. Love it. But it's in. So if you look inside the dash there, you can see that piece of ducting now, right there. Right there. That's the box. That's that weird multi-piece that should have went in first. Alright, so we got a little bit of better light on the subject now. Alright, so we'll just push that one in there, put that one back there. I had to unplug all these to get this out of here. Put that right there, and that right there. Now, if you're ever inside a dash and you see yellow tape or yellow convolute or anything that's not black, it's bright yellow, that's part of your airbag system. That's how they designate the wiring for the airbags. So those wires should not be touched unless the battery is disconnected and has been disconnected for at least a half an hour. I don't know if they changed it on the new cars, but at least on older cars, if the battery was still in here and I went to just unplug that or unplug the airbag out of the steering wheel, there's a good chance the airbag would actually go off. It's kind of it's the airbag self-defense mechanism from being unplugged. It just goes boom right in your face. So always be very careful about the airbag system. Now, the trick is to figure out the rest of this ductwork. This goes back here somehow. There it is. Alright, so that gets screwed into there. Then we gotta figure out, does this fit over here? And it looks like it does. But you see there's a little plug right there. So what we need to do is just pop this out. This is one of those fun little plugs that this top here pops out some, so that pops out. This will be fun to try to put back in. Alright, so then what we got here is this piece will go into that piece like that. That'll connect back over there like that. And we'll go from there. Because this that goes down here is the ductwork for the rear seat heat, for the ductwork that follows all along and snakes under the floor. Alright, let's get this one screw out. That goes into there. I might have to drill that out because that looks like a plastic piece that was broke. And this other one has a screw in it, which makes plenty of sense that one would be a screw and one not. Okay, now we'll take and connect this way in the back and right on the side here. This should be interesting, going all the way back over here. Try to get my hand back there so I can feel what I'm grabbing onto. Alright, now let's see if we can get this in here. I'm probably gonna guess it's gonna be a nightmare, and may not want to go back in, or I could be wrong and there's the hole. Wow, look at that, locked in place. Okay, I was wrong. Well, we're all wrong sometimes, you know. And I'm gonna guess this is the screw that goes right there like that. So that's not a drill point. It was just connected here in two different areas. We do have a lot of wiring, a lot of connectors. Gotta try to figure out where this all goes. And then this airbag goes up there like so. So this is all done. The question is, where does all the rest of this go? I wonder if it's all for dash controls. Well, regardless, we gotta try and figure her out. Because you know what? I don't remember. Let's see, that's for the top of this. This might be for this, or the radio. I think, however, we should look at getting this ductwork taken care of. And like I said, this is the ductwork for the rear floor heat, and it just snakes along here. Okay, so the rear ductwork just plugs into this side of the port. Actually, I think there's another port on the other side it has to plug into first. And then this screws down here and all that good jazz, and it just sits kind of like that, just flat on the floor. Carpet sits on top of it. Let's take a look at the driver's side ducting. Yep, driver's side's got to go on first. or at least be put in where it's supposed to go first. Okay, here we are. It is the next day. And we're going to get right back at it. But first, remember to like and subscribe. That's how you tell YouTube that you like watching the crazy guy, me. So let's get this taken care of right here. This thing. Okay, everybody, I had to move you back out of my way because otherwise you weren't going to be able to see. I'm going to get this put in now. Whether by hand, pry bar, or explosive. One of those three is going to get this put back under here. And hopefully I don't have to resort to number 3. Because that probably wouldn't actually end very well for the car, since I'm trying to put it back together and not take it apart. Alright. Now, I can't possibly imagine this going down under here like this, because it really doesn't look like anything would fit. But, you know, I guess we'll find out. Look at that, guys. My heat lamp. It's actually supposed to be a lamp, but it is actually a heat lamp. And it was so hot to the touch, I can't even touch it anymore. Now, how are we going to fix this? It has literally shrunk the plastic. Oh, what the heck? There's enough to go over that. Once it cools down, I thought I smelled something. And that, my friends, is why I hate incandescent lights for working on cars. They melt things. And considering this light is about half the brightness and hotness of the surface of the sun, that happened. What a way to start the day. Oh boy. Well, it is not going in easily, but it is going in. I'll go ahead and take this hardware out now that mounts this metal behemoth, so I don't have to fight with getting that out. And I sure hope it's going in the right direction. Ooh, dowie. Because if it is not, this is going to be a long process just trying to get this one item in. Okay, now, what is the next step? I don't get it, guys. I honestly do not understand what I'm missing here. There is only one way for this to happen. It can only go in one way. Work on cars, they said. It'll be fun, they said. You'll never want to take the car out at the end of the day and blow it up, right? Guys, I just spent 45 minutes trying to put this puzzle together, and I have finally got it, but at a cost. My sanity. Okay, everything that was here was wrong. Absolutely everything that was here was wrong. The duct splitter goes on first. This goes on second. The heater controls don't even go through here. They go around it. This wiring loom goes through it, and this comes out behind it for the heater controls. Everything was wrong. What the heck? I guess 5 years is a lot of time to forget about how a car came apart. I should have taken pictures, I guess, but I never expected this car to sit this long. But here we are. It is done. It is bolted into place for the most part. It ain't coming out. Everything's where it's supposed to be. Next step, I guess, is to take the heater controls and get them wired up. Get that all put back together. Maybe you should do the ductwork first, because that's got to sit on the bottom. Okay. So let's, where did it wander off to? Here it is. El Melty. Okay. So let's go ahead and shove El Melty down in here. And then we will you just push it back on. And then I try to find my screwdriver, since I am so frazzle-brained now. Now I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but I just screwed down that piece of ductwork for the rear seat heat on the driver's side. Now we take this tube, and actually there is down here on the floor, right here, is the amplifier for the stereo. That's factory, so That needs a screw for sure. And then the back side will need a screw also. However, I have to leave that one out for now until I put the carpet in, because the carpet has to go underneath this amp. But the top screw can go in place. Now, let's take the duct, move everything out of the way, take the one screw out down here next to the amp that holds it in place. Snap it in. And we will screw that one back down too. Now again, I'm not sure whether or not this ducting sits on top of, underneath of, or through the carpet. But I guess we'll find that out when we grab the carpet and put it in here. But for now, all the ductwork is tied in place. Handful of plugs left to do, such as the plugging in for the amplifier here, and then the airbag plugs for the seats on each side. We got this here, which is the amp lead for the stereo. That would be this clustered mess of crap right here. Now we have all this extra wiring here because I had an aftermarket stereo installed, and I will still be putting that in, which is hooked up to the initial plug here that goes to the stereo. That's for pre-outs. And I also had a push button here to turn the amp on and off, or to turn my stereo system on and off, because I actually had quite a nice setup in here with subwoofers and amps and all that jazz. But because I am a decent person and not like a lot of the youngsters, I actually put in a kill switch for my subsystem. So when I was in an area that I wanted to listen to music and didn't want my stereo equipment loud, I could just hit that switch to turn it off. It's just a on-off switch that allows the signal wire from the stereo to turn the signal wire off to the amplifiers. But that's really rather here nor there. I just thought I would explain that to everybody. So aside from wiring in the stereo and wiring in the heater controls and looks like I got a little bit more duct work for the driver's side to complete. Just a, looks like just a single piece here that goes up and tucks under the dash on that side for the driver's footwell area, and to feed out from the box on that side to go into the split on this side for this floor. Touch that in on there. Boy, guys, she's been a rough one on me. Today's been kind of frustrating. Not usually my normal forte, but sometimes it happens. I don't know what these little rubber bumpers are for, probably for something to hook into. Okay, now next step is to fix the switch here on this side that I took apart. And that should be fairly simple here, just to push the switch in and screw it down. Okay, so push that down there, and that down there, and that's that. Alright. Just getting caught up, that's all. Alright, so now we can go and plug the plugs in here for the heater. Oh, it looks like the master plug got a little hot, huh? How about that? I'm not surprised. That happens to most of them. There is such a load that goes through that blower motor and into the blower switch. It's almost unbelievable. But let's go ahead and get everything plugged in here. I got extra stuff right here. Where does it all go? There we go. Now, that looks like it's about right for that. This doesn't actually bolt into this. There's another unit here that this bolts to. And then the stereo goes above that. So let's make sure the stereo wires are on the top side here. Actually, it looks like this one runs on the outside here, so that would clip into there, and then that would clip into there. And then that into there. There, and let's go ahead and get the stereo harness plugged in here. Just like so. And if I have to unplug it, run it through to something else, I'll just do that, but it's plugged in for now. And then we got a ground wire that needs to be grounded, so I'll have to find a place for that. So that's done on that side. Our antennas for the stereo are on the other side. Okay, everyone. Now, it looks like I got a nut over here on this side. Let's see about getting that one tightened down. Done. Now I somehow got to push this bar here forward about an inch. Must have gotten bent out of the way. Looks pretty close to right. And then we take the grounding strap over here. Oh boy, this is not going to be easy. That's going to require a vice grip. I need to clamp these. I don't even know if you guys can see what I'm doing. Can you? Well, kind of. So anyway, this and this need to be clamped together down here at the base because there's a nut that goes over them along with some grounds that also need to be clamped down there. grounds in place. There we go. And now there's that master harness that I disconnected down here. Get that plugged back. Alrighty, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Now, where did this thing go? Go up in that hole, maybe? Right there? We'll have to see, I guess. Looks like a good spot for it based upon the wiring. So I'll just toss it in here loose and we'll see as we start to tighten stuff down if this is where it goes. But I have a feeling this is where this module goes, whatever it's for. I wonder if that's for the... That's got a serial number. I bet that's for the key fob. Or the digital key, I mean. I bet that's what that's for. And that's probably to read the digital key, so I'm just going to tighten that down where it is. And if it's wrong, we'll figure it out. Figure it out later. Can I even get in there? Not that way. Well, I have to look into that further. Yeah. But now all we got left is the antenna that goes over here on this side. For some reason I don't think that's the right spot, but we'll figure that out. And I wonder what that plug is for. That's for the 12 volt power outlets. This is the antenna. That's the stereo. That module is plugged in. That emergency flasher is plugged in. For the blower motor. There really isn't that much left, guys, to plug in or put in place, but I don't know where that particular one goes to. Alright, so antenna, stereo, some box, some random plug, 12 volt. And blower motor. Well, I guess we're going to figure out where this one white plug goes, because they don't just have random plugs laying around. Alright, well, give me a second, guys. Let me try to figure out where this white plug goes. Well, I'm an idiot. That white plug goes up here and is the plug for the stereo. I suppose it had to have some sort of power, you know. So there we go. So we have stereo, antenna, everything's accounted for. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the rest of this buttoned up, and then we can close this out. So I will be right back.